This conference will now be recorded.
Yeah, cool. Yeah. Ready, Mr. Steve?
Yes, sir.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
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 We're about to begin our meeting. Do we have any volunteers on the prayer? Okay, Tim.
Bow your head, please. Father God, we come to you this morning just to tell you thank you. Thank you for waking us up for this new day that we had never seen before, Father. Father God, continue to keep on blessing us and blessing this kind of Father God, because we all want the same thing for Duly County, Father God. Just continue to bless our family that we leave home every day. Continue to bless this county and make us a better place to live. In your name we pray.
Let's all stand and join me in the pledge of allegiance. I
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Y'all may be seated. We have a proposed agenda before you. What's the pleasure of the board?
Mr. Chairman, I don't know how that reorganization line got on the agenda, but we do that the first meeting of the year. I don't know how it appeared on this one.
You've been hacked.
I was gonna say it was a test to see if y'all caught it, but none of y'all caught it, so
You don't have anything else?
I don't have anything else.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we approve the agenda.
Second motion.
It's been motioned and second. All in favor by the show of hands, that motion carried. All the minutes, old minute was mailed or emailed to everybody. What's the pleasure of the board?
Move we adopt the minutes as recorded.
I'll make it so.
Okay, there's been motion and second. Do we have any discussion on the old minute? No more than what we talked about before we got started. God dog. I mean, I ain't said nothing to nobody, man. So, I don't know how. I know how. Like I told David, but my phone won't let me do it. Yeah, y'all already know that,
I
though.
have to check your phone.
Yeah, but do it, my old lady told me this morning, you need to go get you another phone in there. Go to the garage and get you another phone. Man,
She must gonna go with you.
Somebody gonna have to go. Well, you said that's all ugly. As long as they don't get into the, I guess, the checking account, I'll be all right. Yeah, I ain't worried about the other stuff. All in favor by the show of hands, that motion carries. Okay, Steve's on you.
Okay. You should have a copy of the financial report for the month of February. Take it, look at it. Got any questions, we'll be glad to try to answer them. On number 3, we still have a vacancy on the Middle Flint Health and Wellness Board. We'll keep, we are allowed to have 2 representatives. Betty Lamb served as one, and the other position is currently vacant, so we'll keep that on the agenda. There's a vacancy on the DFAX board also. It needs to be filled, so we'll keep that on the agenda until we have a nomination for that. I sent with your agenda, I sent out we talked about coming up with some requirements for new roads and subdivisions, that somebody wants to develop a subdivision, build some new roads, and then turn the roads over to the county for the county for them to be maintained. I sent you the regulations from Chris County's code. And I sent it to Rodney for him to look at. So I just want to get the conversation started. We'll follow back up at the next meeting on that. I'm not ready to take any action on that just yet. Item number 6, we've got a vacancy on the Board of Elections registration. Lee Harris's term has expired. So we'll keep that on the agenda until we have somebody.
Okay, Steve, just 1 second.
Let me
Here's another one. Ain't nobody
I
paying
just
one.
went out.
Did you,
I think y'all can spend a little more money on our opinion.
You're right.
I think y'all can spend a little more money on our opinion.
That one worked.
Pen.
That one worked.
They were free.
Okay.
Oh.
that? No one. This one went out again. There's 2 of them went out. You want to try it?
Now fuss that tone like you fussing at me. Saying what I needed to do.
Do you? I bet you don't have them as just there.
No.
Yeah, I do.
At your desk, what you use?
Uh-huh.
All right, item number 7, just
Oh, him.
Ken's got
Just,
the discussion.
I'm glad to be able to report the results of the March 12th Special Election for SPLOST. It passed overwhelmingly, so that was great news for the county and for all the cities as well.
Thanks to Dave.
Mhm.
Number 8, just a reminder, the annual legislative luncheon sponsored by the River Valley Regional Commission is scheduled for Wednesday, May the 22nd at 10:30 a.m. at South Georgia Technical College in Americus. Let Linda know if you would plan to attend so she can RSVP for you. We'll keep that on the agenda to closer to time. Item number 9, the county's group health insurance for employees is currently with Anthem Blue Cross and Blue Shield under the ACCG Group Health Benefits Program, and this policy expires June the 30th, 24. I've been talking to Ray Clemens, he's our agent, and I think he's expecting to have a proposal from Blue Cross Blue Shield for the county that'll be that will save the county some money from what current. I don't know how he plans to do that, but that's what he's expecting.
As long as it's saving, that's all that matters.
Yeah.
And we
Probably
get the
being
same
based
picture.
on our experience
And-
and not being in there with all these other groups.
Number 10, Quarish Bullard's zoning appeal is scheduled to be heard by the county commissioners at the April 18th meeting. The next planning commission meeting is April the 8th. And they're hearing 3 zoning requests. Shane Shellnut has applied for a zoning variance for parcel 2510A that is zoned agricultural. The variance is to allow a lesser setback for a metal carport. The site is located on Baggs Road. That's a variance. Number 2 is another variance. Sean McGuire has applied for a zoning variance for parcel 7711A that is zoned agricultural. The variance is to allow a mobile home as a second dwelling on the property. The location is on the Pinehurst Hawkinsville Road. Number 3, this is at last meeting when we scheduled a public hearing on the cell tower issue, but attorney showed up and said, hey, things weren't done exactly right. Let's start the whole process over. This is getting that process started back over. Bobby Griffin and Sharon Griffin, via representation by the Tillman Infrastructure agent, Sarah Dye, they have applied for a zoning variance and a conditional use for parcel 7401 to put up a cell tower. The variance is required because the zoning ordinance only allows a 40-foot high structure. For some reason, I don't know why that's in the ordinance, but it is. They want to put in a 325, so they got to request a variance for the height of the tower, and they got to request a conditional use for the construction of the tower. So that'll be heard by the planning commission.
But Steve, before we move on,
Sorry.
going back to that Quarish Bullet, so it come back to us again for the,
Yeah.
we get a final say so on that?
He's appealing y'all's decision.
Uh-huh.
So yes, that's the first way I said, that's the first step in the process. If y'all stick by y'all's original decision, then he can appeal that to the Superior Court if he's
Okay.
not happy.
All right.
Wait, you're not getting too far. Hold on a second here. Yeah. Back to the zoning issues. I pulled the book that the lady from the University of Georgia, when we had the training out there for the planning commission and commissioners on zoning. There's basically 2 types of zoning actions. There's legislative actions and administrative actions. Legislative decisions can only be made by the governing authority. That would be the county commissioners. Examples of legislative decisions are adoption of a zoning ordinance, amending the text of a zoning ordinance, amending the zoning map or rezoning a parcel, amending the zoning map for a newly annexed property into the county, and granting a permit relating to the special use of property. That's what we call a conditional use. Administrative decisions may be made by the planning commission if authorized by the governing authority. An example of an administrative decision is a variance. Like your zone, if you're in a particular zone, our ordinance may say you got to have a 20-foot setback from the side property line. And if somebody wants to request a variance, that's considered an administrative decision, and y'all have granted the planning commission the authority to be the final decision maker on a variance. Y'all can change that if y'all want to. But the legislative decisions, y'all can't delegate that authority to the planning commission. Y'all have to be the final say on those. The legislative decisions would still go to the planning commission for them to study it, and then they would make a recommendation to y'all on that. So going back to the cell tower number 3 up here, they requested a variance and a conditional use. The planning commission has the authority to issue a variance. The planning commission doesn't have the authority to issue a conditional use. So, and plus, since we got lawyers involved in this, Bert's going to attend that planning commission meeting to help try to make sure everything goes right. And I'm not sure, depends on how the meeting goes, he may recommend that the planning commission just make a recommendation to y'all on the variance, even though they could make a decision, because there's a conditional use attached to it that has to come to y'all. So I'm not sure how they're going to handle that. We'll let the lawyers work all that out. This zoning's getting complicated.
It is.
Okay. Reminder, our current contract with Waste Management has been extended to December 31st of this year. So I'm in the process of preparing a request for proposal document. I sent out a draft copy for y'all to look at. We ain't got to get into a whole lot of details today, but I just wanted to show you the proposed time frame I'm looking at with this. I'd like to be able to send the RFP out to prospective bidders by May 20th. If we meet that, then we give them a.
Go on. Oh, I was looking for my other sheet.
Oh, you didn't get a second sheet?
I kept saying this meeting's over in a few seconds. I kept turning and flipping.
Sorry about that.
Oh, there we go again.
And send the RFP out by May the 20th, and give the bidders, if they may have some questions, they have to submit any questions they have by June the 7th. And then if there's any addendums to be issued based on what questions get asked, the addendums or the RFP would be modified and sent back out by June the 14th, and give them to July the 1st to have their proposals back for us. And then we'd have 30 days to evaluate the proposals. I'm trying not to get into a big rush here. I'm trying to allow plenty of time for each step in the process. And we would hopefully select the bidder by August the 1st for them to start the project January the 1st. Because I want to give plenty of time just in case we select a new vendor. It's going to be they're going to need some time to get their act together, get cans up, get our addresses all where they're going to need to put cans out and stuff like that. I don't want them to be rushed, because the smoother that process goes, if we select a new vendor, the better off it is for us. I'm being a little selfish in this. I want it to be smooth as possible on us.
Question on that. Does this specify us doing the billing? Because that's a very different creature for most of these other people that's gonna be sending and bidding on this. I may have missed that. I kind of scanned it. I didn't spend a lot of time with it. I'm sorry, but
I just,
get off, I'd like to say something on garbage,
Mm.
current garbage too.
I'll have to look at that because I don't remember. I just assumed it did.
but most of these places, these folks are working, they do the bidding.
How do y'all want them to bid?
Well, I'd like to know on our current, what percentage of a reduction there is for us doing this billing, because I know that's a task, and it's getting even greater with the mail. And see, when they bid and you see these can amounts on these other counties so much higher, they're not touching the billing. So these people are getting 100% of that can count when we write them a check. Well, trust me, they're not going to collect 100% of it. It's just not going to happen. And so I want to make sure we're not shooting ourselves in the foot and we're getting a substantial amount of money for handling the billing and the risk of falling short on collections, because you can put a number out there, but if you don't collect it, what have you done?
Do the companies have the same powers we do of tying that to property?
No, they have to go to magistrate court, I would assume.
Do we want to ask them to submit two bids, one with us doing the billing and one with them doing the
It'd be
billing?
cleaner and clearer.
I mean,
I thought we had got away from that. I mean, that's what the lady was complaining about when we were doing all the building in the past. What's the one, the lady up there now?
Lynn.
Yeah.
All right, let's just think this thing through. If we don't do the billing, we're still gonna get complaints.
Oh, we gonna get them, and we gonna get them out of the yang. Excuse the
I mean,
expression.
there's no way.
Because we are the people. We're who they look to, And so that's why I say, you need to be paid for that.
Okay.
And it's a percentage, I'm sure, but it may not be a big enough percentage. That needs to be looked at strongly now, this day and time.
Well, I think wouldn't that be the best way to be able to see how much we getting compensated, how much we're getting compensated for doing the billing?
That's right.
By requiring them to submit two proposals.
That's exactly right.
Can we look at our profit in this, or
Yeah.
because we would lose by turning the billing over to them, we would lose a revenue piece.
If it's a revenue piece.
If it is one, if you look at it close now, there's a lot of unseen that's not in this number right here.
Well, I know her pay. I know what all these ladies do the billing here.
Right.
She doesn't do all the billing out there.
She doesn't do any of the billing. The bills are printed in our office, mailed out of our office, and then all payments come to our office. But then basically any questions, complaints about the service gets routed to Lynn.
So we're doing that to keep the price down for our customers.
That's right.
That's we're providing some service in that.
You got to remember, when this whole
where we came from.
When the county got into the garbage collection business, the county, we actually bought garbage trucks and we provided the service ourselves. So we had to do the billing. And then it got to where the decision was made, hey, it's probably better for us to contract this service out. the board at the time said, well, we'll continue, we're set up to do the bill and we'll continue to do the bill. Our residents are used to us doing it, but we'll just continue to do the billing. So that's how it evolved into us still doing the billing. So.
But you see where I'm coming from.
I see where you're coming from.
When Dooley County writes one check to these people, they getting 100% of what they budget.
You could, and I'm just trying to think what potential downside to the county would be for the vendor to do the billing. Because personally, I'd love to get the billing out of this office. That would make our life so much.
Then you looking at an
But-
increase though.
Right. But then you gotta look at the effect on the residents. How much more are they gonna have to pay?
Yeah.
Because then they can't
And then-
make payments here.
They won't come here. There won't be a place they can come.
That's right. You
Make
can't
a
do it
payment.
like George Powell
About a
did.
year before they get
I don't
trained.
know. We might need to continue.
Well, I think without a doubt we do, because that's the way we do business. But I want to be compensated.
You want to know what's in the
Yeah,
contract?
yeah.
Because they're not doing that with anybody else. So, there's probably, I may be wrong. There may be folks handling the building. But you see what I'm saying? They're getting 100% of what that contract says. We're not getting 100% of the revenue.
Like I said, it
I
needs to
mean,
be spelled out in the contract.
When
Yeah.
Chris says we collect 92, 94%, well, 6% of the volume of that billing is substantial, people. And I want these folks to know. And they do know what they're getting, I guarantee you, when we handle that. Because Steve is right. You're going to get the complaints out there with Lynn anyway. You're going to have to handle so much of this stuff. We got folks delivering cans.
I'd like to go into the complaints piece for a minute. It's been great for the last 6 months, I think. I hadn't had any calls. But come Friday is when I get my calls. And I have no avenue, no relief, no nothing on a Friday to have anything done or anything picked up or find out answers for anybody. And every time a complaint comes, it's either Thursday afternoon or Friday morning. I would like to see we need somebody here on complaints with connections to the garbage people on Fridays. Because come Monday, we had a mess over the end of last week of the weekend. There was a down garbage truck and a new driver that was just missing the route, missing pieces of the route. And come Monday, I guess it was windy, Sunday and Monday. I'm not going to say cussed, but I was getting firmly told about all the garbage strewed out over everybody's yard. And on Friday, we didn't have anybody to call. We didn't have anybody to call and say, you need to send us a truck now, get us a truck Saturday. I don't understand the whole concept of not working on Friday, because everybody else works on Friday. Complaints come in on Friday, and I'm not saying it's got to be the same person, but somebody's got to be cross-trained to be able to handle issues on Friday. We can't control some offices, but and Rodney's on call, I'll say, on Friday, but we have nobody on garbage on Friday. And it just seems like that's when everything blows up. But
When is your stuff being collected in your district? Is it all the same day, or you got different days? Because you're such a big and wide
yeah,
district.
it's all different.
It's-
They miss Thursdays. Fred doesn't know if his is Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday. They hit it. That's a commercial can. That wasn't the same issue as this, but yeah, down here's Thursday. North County's Friday, and then like I said, come Saturday they're hollering because they got wind, their trash is blowed all over the yard. But I don't understand the concept of not working on a Friday. And I think it got rolled into the concept of, for another department, of trying to beat the heat, I guess, of working early, and I don't know what the road department deal was, but I think this sort of just got rolled in with
Well, that was
that.
part of it, same.
But this is an administration job. This is a in this office style job. It's just in another location, and I'm not trying to mess up anybody's schedule, but I don't like when I get a complaint, I can't call somebody to do something about it, or start to give them answers of I've done something, because all I can tell them on Friday, well, I gotta wait till Monday.
And that's
What you do if it happened on Saturday?
I mean,
Yeah, you have to wait till Monday.
but people understand on Saturdays, but nobody understands not working on a Friday.
They know their schedule. They know.
The schedule's not right. I mean, I don't believe in the tax commissioner's office closing on a Friday. I mean, that in my personal belief, we're running 8 to 5 Monday through Friday.
It's some good benefits on it. You just talk looking at the bad part about it, but it's some good by doing it also. So I'm just saying, you just got to see which one where you have to be.
I think in the 90s, when everybody was trying to save energy and all this, stuff, they thought being off on Friday, school system, we did it, but it don't work. I'm like you, I like for everybody to work on Friday too, but it's some good benefits in it too, but I'm just like,
The road department, that is a benefit. If
Mhm.
you're having a hard time finding people for a specialized job, I get being off on a Friday. If that's a benefit or whatever, but again, we're talking about a coordinator of our connection with our vendor.
Mhm.
Nobody else has that connection. If somebody wants, we can cross train somebody to handle it on Fridays, but
I believe we can work the garbage part out though, don't you, Steve? Because I call you and then.
Well, if we can get them
you
to call us,
Yeah.
but, they're programmed to call public works
I know.
for complaints.
Mhm.
But if on Friday, if they will call us, then yes, we can forward the complaint on.
Yeah.
that number doesn't roll.
Maybe that's what you need to work on,
Yeah.
if you can.
I can check and see if we can get it to roll.
Yeah,
It's
that'll
all
solve
different.
most of it.
But you're saying when he calls you for a complaint, you call the same people she calls to get it handled?
I send them an email,
You said it.
but I could call them, but they are fairly prompt now. The last since we had the little,
It's been great. I'm not saying it's just,
they've been, especially since now, I think everything, at one time, waste management, one part of the county was handled out of one office and another part of the county was handled out of a office in Cordell. But since the city of Cordell changed vendors, waste management no longer has an office in Cordell and everything's handled out of Kathleen. And so,
And most people will call us on Fridays.
well, we assume we don't know. If they don't call us, we don't know.
Well, that's true. But we do get some calls on Friday.
I'm like, need to look
We'll
at
check
that
in and see if we get their
process.
phone to roll over.
And do we have, I'll call whoever her contact, give me the contact.
Okay, I'll
I'll
get
call them
phone.
and get them rolling on.
Well, I'll get phone numbers. I just have email. It's just easy, and they respond well to that. Because when I send an email to them, I also copy Lynn, so she has it Monday morning. She follows back up on it to make sure it got handled. Is the reason I do the email process.
Would this happen every Friday with you?
Every time there's every time there's more than just like a single unit thing, if it's ever happened, it's late Thursday, Friday of a problem, yes.
Let me check on that phone rollover.
This one's just fresh on my mind because it was this past weekend.
Okay. Anything else on garbage? Just through dog and trash. Okay.
No pun intended.
No pun intended.
You know, just suppose that-
Okay. We've mentioned this briefly last meeting. The Georgia Department of Transportation has some funding available through what they call their FY 2024 LMIG Safety Action Plan. And this is similar to the program that went through that we got the money to do the striping and signs on 3rd District Road.
Mhm.
Except it's a little different. Back then, it was called LMIG Off System Safety Plan, which meant off the state system highways safety plan, or safety. Now they're calling this their Safety Action Plan. In the 3rd District, they didn't give us a choice of what roads. They said that you got this much money, you can spend it on 3rd District Road, or you can't spend it nowhere else. Now we have
That's all.
$165,000 eligible. We're gonna have to match 10, we're gonna have to come up with 10% match, so we're gonna have to come up with $16,000 if we do it. And then they give us a list of roads that they suggest. So anyway, I have sent this to our engineer to let him. I'm assuming this list is what they consider to be priorities. So to me, I interpret this that the state says that Pinehurst Hoggler Road is a high priority. Anyway, engineer's gonna look at it and have something by next meeting for us to look at that.
How much money was in that pool? In that pot?
160,
For us,
165,000.
$165,000.
Okay, then we just have to match it 10%.
10% for $16,000.
You said that,
They keeping up with crashes there, accidents on these roads. Of course, that's probably not all
And I
of them.
think,
That's
and I-
not all of them, that's just the ones that
Get reported.
they getting this,
for whatever
these
period,
records from GSP.
for whatever period of
Cross.
time,
Mhm.
yeah, this, evidently, according to their records, Pinehurst Hogville was the only one that had a fatality.
So it went to the top of the list.
So I think that bumped it to the
Rightfully
top of the
so.
list.
I'm just curious why they had Poplar Spring Road down this way.
Upper Spring.
It's so bad. Is there
It's
two
so-
sections? Is there
it's
two
so
sections
long.
of
Maybe
it?
two different sections of
What
it.
it is. I don't know about, I always go from 230 all the way around to Burnville.
No.
Yeah.
Anyway, we'll get a report from the engineer on that. Then Georgia Department of Transportation has some extra LMIG money available this time. And they calling it their FY 2024 LMIG Local Road Assistance. And in this,
LRA.
LRA.
Mhm.
And
This is good.
this is good because it doesn't require, and they started accepting applications March the 15th, and they're going to accept applications through June the 15th. So we got to get on the ball here.
You already got that?
And just to show you the dollar amount, this is kind of small, but for Dooley County, our portion, go over here, we can get $891,000, and it don't require a 10% match.
That ain't small.
That's more than we had in regular LMIG.
Our regular LME for 24 was $719,000.
There's a figure on that right now. Every one of us at this table need to remember. And this is the first number he gives you there. Unincorporated, 567.42 miles.
Yeah.
You can use that in a lot of your conversations with taxpayers because they don't know how many miles it is.
Is that paid mileage?
No, that's total,
That's
paved
total.
in,
That's
total
total.
dirt and paved.
But that's total.
County road, that don't count state highway or the interstate.
But we know we got probably less than 330 paved.
I can use all that on mine.
I guarantee you, because at the end of the day, if you got 325 to 330 miles of paved road, and the amount of money we coming in here with every year to try to maintain that, I mean, it's like eating an elephant.
All right, now we need to decide how we want to I'm assuming we do want to apply for this money.
Yes. This comes quick, we need to apply quick.
Then, so we need to say, all right, but you gotta submit your projects to get the money. Now, at the last meeting, we talked about, Ronnie's brought up, there's a pipe replacement project on River Road, right at the Drayton Campers Haven area, that the pipe is failing and will need to be replaced, and he's wanting to go ahead and replace it before it totally collapses and we have a bigger project than what we currently have. And then there's a major pipe on West Road, right west of the intersection of Highway 230. The engineer's getting up cost estimates on both of those projects. He's saying he would not be surprised if each one of those in $250,000 to $300,000 a piece.
Oh,
For a pipe change out?
That's what he's saying.
Don't we change our own pipe?
We do, but now these are large pipe, and our equipment, our backhoes can only handle up to a certain size of concrete pipe. And I think these pipes are bigger than what, if we try to go back with a large concrete pipe, we ain't got the equipment to handle that. I don't suggest we put these, but in both these locations, these are large metal pipe. I'm talking about 6 foot range metal pipe. I don't suggest just spending the money to put metal pipe back in there, knowing it's going to last 20, 25 years, and you got to come back and do it again.
Now, let me ask you this question. How big is the pipe that is there now? And how big is the pipe that we're going to put in?
That's what I want the engineer to, I think he's looking at a box culvert. I'm going to tell him, all right, we'll consider that, but give us the lower cost options as well.
These places hadn't had box culverts ever, and we're replacing that other cost.
Well, but you gotta have you gotta be able to handle the volume of water, either with pipe or box culvert.
Right, but the box culvert cut, the last one we did was 400,000.
Jalapa Road was 300,000.
Is it big enough for anything to travel through there other than water?
I don't know. I gotta get on. The engineer give us all that detail.
But we can use that money right there
Yes.
for that project.
Yes.
Oh,
But I'm not, I want to do an adequate job, but let's don't go crazy with putting too much overcapacity in there when the existing pipe has always handled the volume. The issue is that pipe's rusting out. It's the only reason we got to do something.
Yeah.
But I don't think we want to go to the trouble to put in just another metal pipe, knowing you had to come back and do it again. But the problem is our equipment can't handle 6 foot diameter concrete pipe.
But
Too heavy.
I go across that pipe every day. The only thing I see is the water coming off the dirt coming off
On West Road.
On West Road.
And I think that's right. The pipe, there's quite a bit of fill on top of the pipe in there.
Whatever.
So anyway, but I said all that to say there's going to be. What do we want to spend this extra? Any over those two projects? We need to be thinking about what other projects we want to.
I'd move to your road list.
Yeah, where's our resurfacing list?
Yeah, the resurfacing list.
I'll get that out and send that out in the next meeting.
What if we get these right away? Can that go towards?
That's a board decision there, Mr. Chairman. To say that I finally got Bert to review all the. He had prepared for all those family members and had sent them. They never got signed. But he sent them to only one of the individuals. Now I have addresses for all the individuals. I'm going to send them right away to each individual, asking them to sign it and return it to us. And then we'll see what kind of response we get from that.
Right.
And that's all we can do, put the ball in their court, and what they choose to do with it, it's on them.
We presented the ball, but they didn't want to get it rolled. I mean, that's all I ever asked for.
All right. Update on the roads that were damaged. A couple weeks ago, we had the 6 inches of rain. There were quite a few roads, paved roads that were damaged and temporarily closed. Lambtown Road, that down in the southeast corner of the county. Lambtown Road was closed for a couple of days. And then there was right off of Lambtown, there was a little road that goes back into a subdivision. Murray Lamb. It's a dead end road. Right now, it's one lane of it's closed, but like I said, it's not a major thoroughfare. The people can get in and out of it. Rodney said it'd be a whole lot better since it wasn't a heavily traveled road. The folks could get in and out. There's still quite a bit of water coming through there. Let the water get down so the road won't have to be closed this long for them to repair it. Because when they go to repair that one, the folks that live past that, they're not gonna have a way in and out. So those two roads, there were several dirt roads that were
I can imagine that.
damaged. Temporarily, we had to close a couple of paved roads down at the river because the flood water come over them. But fortunately, once the water receded, there wasn't any major damage. Those roads are back open now. So,
what about on Franklin Road, down there where they had that water back up to the lady?
I'm not aware of any issue. I didn't hear any complaints or any issues. I think they got the pipe. I think the problem was the pipe. Beavers had the pipe partially, but they had got it opened up before the rains came.
Biggest problem is beavers in the awful away from it.
That's what I saw. I went down there.
But they
We
clean
can take care of the
all they can reach.
we can clean the pipe, but we can't.
See, it was over. The problem to me was the water was going through the pipe, but that wire fence that he had over there, all them trees and limbs and things that got over there on the fence, and then so that was restricting the water from going through there, so that made everything that's backed up. So we can't go over there where that guy fence and clean it.
That's the first I've heard about a fence being.
Yeah, it's a fence. I stayed down there a long time with one lady that cussed me out. I wanted to go. I wanted to see why she was cussing me out. So I went down there and I looked at it and I saw where Roddy those had actually, where the beavers had blocked the little pipe down there. But now when I looked at it and I saw the water flowing, I looked over there at the fence. I said, that's the problem over there. And see that again, you can't go on private property. But it looked like to me it might have been right off the right of way. But that water was stopping. I mean, those trees and limbs and things was stopping the water from going through there. Yeah.
Number 15. I'll talk to Rodney.
That's a big beaver dam though over in the woods that you don't see.
Yeah.
And it's got all that backed up over there. That's a wet area anyway.
It is.
Everywhere he built his where he,
Kind of a low area there.
yeah.
I told her
Always
call
has
me.
been.
He let her cuss you out. And she said you was going to represent him. I call her Buttercup. I wonder what her name, Tom Anderson, why? She said, take Tim Anderson mine. I said, he is. I said, what the fuck?
And just so y'all will know, there's a lot of places around the county that we have issues with beavers stopping up. We actually pay a trapper to come to those areas and trap the beavers to try to eliminate some of the problems. So,
but you're right. I did not know really. You never see him.
Yeah.
And I didn't know, but right out of Byronville, down off that dirt road coming out of Byronville, I forgot the name of that road there. But they said they had a beaver problem down there, and Rodney told me about the trap.
Oh, you can break them and they'll have them built back within 2 days. They work overtime.
Yeah.
They say, the older folks say the county used to have a bounty on beavers that if residents caught them, they'd make them cut the tail off, bring the tail to the courthouse, and they'd pay them $5 or something for every beaver tail they brought to the courthouse. I don't want to get into that.
That's right.
Yeah, I don't think we want to do that.
What they call it, Peter or whatever.
Okay, number 16, we learned recently, very recently, since the last meeting, Congressman Sanford Bishop's office sent out a notice that his office is receiving applications for funding from what they call the FY 2025 Community Project Funding. The deadline is tomorrow for applications. And what this is, based on, I got Scotty Mashburn, our ADC director, he got involved in it and he done some research. Each U.S. congressman can submit 15 projects to get special fund. This used to be called earmark funding, or pork barrel funding, or it's been called a bunch of things over the years. They're trying to clean up the name of it. Now call it community project funding. But each congressman can submit 15 projects for funding. So we had such a short time to do it. He and I made a decision. We're gonna submit an application to purchase a new ambulance because we're gonna need a new ambulance. We got bid a new ambulance, $250,000.
Gosh.
A new defibrillator, $37,000, and a new stretcher, $20,000. On this program, they suggest you keep your price under $1 million. So,
We got a little way to go.
so we're gonna submit it. I don't have a bunch of high hopes of getting it, but one thing's sure, we're not gonna get it if we don't ask for it.
I know you ain't much time there, but I'd sure try to get letters of support. I just really.
Well, we have already gotten letters. We've got a letter of support from Patty Stinson. I've sent a request to Larry Walker I hadn't got his back yet. So, and I've got a letter of support here for the chairman to sign if y'all want to proceed with this.
Oh, yes. We can't come up with nothing now.
Well, I got, let's,
If we get.
I got another plan also for something else.
Steve, I'm gonna borrow your pen because mine ain't right. And they say, like Tim say, they was skimping on the pens behind him.
Wow.
Yeah. Sure is.
Make sure I have y'all some good pens.
These are great pens.
Yeah, sure, man.
Zebra Sarasa.
Okay, now this is in the U.S. House of Representatives, Congressman Bishop in the U.S. House of Representatives. Well, I've also, since then, I've gotten a notice from Senator Ossoff. The U.S. Senate has a similar program. Of course, they've got a different name to it, and they've got a different deadline for theirs. It's sometime I think it's the middle of April, so we've got a little bit more time for that. So what's your ideas for trying to ask for some money? Get him to see if he can get us some money for something.
It's election year. Yeah, they'll offer a lot of
Anybody
stuff.
recreation department hit list. They had a $2 million hit list.
Okay, Joseph Willis also got something. He was going to try to come up with, submit something to Congressman Bishop's office for some lights on some of the ball fields.
You can do it through separate,
Yeah, because this is getting submitted as Dooley County Emergency Medical Services.
okay.
That would get submitted as Dooley County Recreation Department.
Okay.
But that won't help us on our equipment for the county.
Well, we got to, it depends, we got to add. I keep hearing rumors that the Sheriff Department wants a new radio system. Do we want to try to let?
That's a good project for federal money.
For Senator Ossoff to see if he can get us some
That's a
money
good
for that.
project for federal money. It sure is, because not only you can build, you're not doing it just with the sheriff's department. You got all these little old cities,
All the public safety entities.
all the public safety entities that you can pull right along with, and it builds your request.
Here's the thing on this system. If you upgrade to this system, either we're gonna be maintaining two systems, or we're gonna have to invest in all the handhelds and everything for all of your firefighters and your EMS too.
Get them on the front end.
Cause they've got, I mean, your price of a handheld radio goes from $1,000 to $3,000 per radio on this new upgraded system. And that's I don't know, we got 100 firefighters. So that you're talking $300,000 just in their handhelds alone. So that's just something we got to get it up.
Get that money from.
Yeah, no, I mean that would.
Ask for the whole thing.
I think the system itself is going to cost us $500,000.
I have not heard any details.
This is all, and then your handhelds and your dash stuff's your car stuff's probably going to be another $500,000.
Is that up to me on that?
I gotta look and see. I don't remember if he had a limit on his or not. I gotta go back and look and see. But I want to see what y'all wanted to go for.
I know we want you to go for it.
Yeah, like Coach was saying, equipment too.
Yeah.
You know, some kind of-
Tony, you had something you wanted to say?
Oh, I heard you and Tim talking about districts and stuff. Do we have a copy of the new districts? Cause I don't know.
It's on the
You-
website.
It is on.
You
It's updated.
Yeah, if you go to our, all right, we're through talking about this.
Mhm.
Okay. All right. Yeah, if you go to our website, and there's a couple ways you get to it. I would go to County Directory,
Mhm.
Board of Commissioners. And click here to view a map of the county commission districts.
Okay,
Click on that. And that is the current.
that's the current one.
That's the current one. In particular, you want me to blow up?
Mine, District 1.
I got something I want you to blow up.
Wrong terminology there.
Hold that comment to you.
What is that blue? What is that blue? So everything on the left side of Ramson Road is mine now. And how far did it go? Where's what's the name of that road? Where the new people live at? By Tim.
The new people,
The
right
one
there.
by the trailer about the that's my district now.
Which one?
The lady that came in about making up put
That's right in here, isn't it?
She's down. No, it's out Pinehurst, Hawkinsville, and you take a left on
5 points.
5 points. Yeah, that's you.
That's me now.
But yeah.
Can we get copies of that? Got y'all print that?
Because some of yours changed too, didn't it?
Yeah, a lot of mine changed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I shifted west.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
Because I never did go past the city of Unity all the way to the line. Now I'm on the line now.
We got 3 districts coming in the vine.
Good God Almighty.
I went west towards Macon
towards.
County.
That's what I thought. Okay, it's on. I guess I can print out that. You can print out that, can't you? I mean, when I go
Yeah,
to
that woman, she lives right there behind Gary Welch. So
Yeah.
she's
So
in,
that's me now.
that's you.
All right, get back to
And
it.
up here where they putting this new cell tower,
That's me, I think.
that's you.
Yeah, that's me up on, no. The cell tower, is that on Sugar Hill, or
Some county, North
It's
Carolina Road.
Caroline Road.
it just depends on where it is?
This is 75.
Mm-hmm.
It's right in there.
Oh, that is you too.
It's between
I
75
used
and
to just
Highway
have like a
41.
doorknob around Unadilla and I go all the way, Okay, I start looking at. At least I ain't got to run for 4 years, so I figured out. But I just want to know because I don't want people calling me, and I'm trying to talk and it's in somebody else's district.
No, you can handle it.
No, I mean, I don't want to
So I
though.
told that girl.
I don't want
Tina,
to.
I said, yeah,
I
call her.
was at Commissioner Nixon district. Now you just call him now, cause okay, I'll look it up then.
Okay, all right.
She call you a thing, man. You want? Ain't he one of them things?
So that is his district now. That what
No,
y'all?
it was
Oh,
I told him better.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's all the items on the agenda. I would like to have just a brief work session after the meeting to talk. We're gonna be in the budget process before we know it. I just wanna see, if we wanna change the way we do the budget process.
You said a quick Zing, you said.
No, just a little.
Oh,
work session.
yeah.
It's just a work session.
All right.
Thank you.
Okay, I need a motion on the floor.
Oh, the adjourn? Okay, Mr. Chairman, I make a motion that we adjourn.
That's it.
Yeah, the motion is second. Tony, you can't go nowhere now.
Yeah, now we got that. Okay.
All in favor by the show of hand, that motion carries.